top 10 best college basketball players ready for the NBA. Many of the NBA's future stars start out with humble beginnings in college, but some of these players have already made a name for themselves and are a force to be reckoned with. Welcome back to Sports 365, your daily dose of non-stop hoops. Today we're going over the top 10 college basketball players ready for the NBA. If you're new here and enjoy our content, make sure you subscribe. At the number 10 spot, we have Bol Bol, the son of the second tallest NBA player of all time, Manute Bol from Sudan. The 7'2" center was ranked number 4 following his high school career. In high school, his senior year, he averaged 20.4 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game. In high school, he received offers from Arizona, USC, Oregon, Kentucky, and UCLA. He decided to play for the Oregon Ducks. Entering the season, he was already considered one of the best prospects for the 2019 draft. In the 9 games he played before he was injured, he averaged 21 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 3 blocks per game. In December of 2018, after he injured his foot, he declared that he would enter the NBA draft. He is going to be very fun to watch in the NBA because of how tall he is. He definitely needs to add some muscle to his body, and he will continue to develop as a player, which may take some time. Although he has great size, he still is considered very skinny by professional NBA scouts. In at the number 9 spot is Jackson Hayes. Over his high school career, he went from being 6 foot tall to 6'11". As a senior, he averaged 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game. He committed to the Texas Longhorns to play college basketball for the 2018-2019 season. After this season, he was named the Big 12 Freshman of the Year and also the Big 12 All-Defensive Team as well. Although he wasn't an amazing player stat-wise, he is still projected to be a fairly high draft pick because of his size. He has a 7'4" wingspan and a massive frame to mold into a strong NBA player. He is considered a good draft pick for most NBA teams considering his father was a professional player in the NFL, which means he can learn from his father on how to be a professional sports athlete. One of the main things he needs to progress when transitioning to the NBA is his muscle. Although he is tall, strength is equally as important in the league. I look forward to seeing some of the great blocks from Hayes this year in the NBA, but he is still going to need some time to develop into a well-rounded player. Colby White comes in at the number 8 spot. In high school, he ended up scoring 3,573 points in total, in which he broke the record for the most points scored in North Carolina history. At the end of his senior year, he was named North Carolina Mr. Basketball as the state's top high school player. In 2018, he also played in the McDonald's All-Star American game. He also played in the Under-18 FIBA Championship for the United States. The team ended up winning the gold medal. Out of high school, he was ranked top 25 by most ranking boards for high school players. This season, as a part of the Carolina Tar Heels, he averaged 16.1 points per game and started all 35 games. On April 3rd, 2019, he declared for the 2019 NBA Draft. At the number 7 spot, we have DeAndre Hunter, the guard from the Virginia Cavaliers. During Hunter's freshman season, he averaged double figures in 16 games as a bench player. In a game against Louisville in 2018, he scored a game-winning buzzer beater. In 2018, Hunter was the ACC 6th Man of the Year, and he was also named to the ACC All-Freshman team. Unfortunately, Hunter broke his hand in the 2018 ACC tournament and was not able to play in the 2018 NCAA tournament. Virginia was the number 1 seed, and they ended up losing in Game 1 to the number 16 seed UMBC, which stands for the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. In his sophomore season this year, he raised his point per game average to 14.9. After this season, he was also named the ACC Defensive Player of the Year and was also named to the first team All-ACC team for 2019. He will definitely be a solid, well-rounded player to watch in the NBA with his strong defensive play and above-average shooting ability. Coming in at the number 6 spot is Cam Reddish, the 6'8" player committed to Duke to play alongside with RJ Barrett and Zion Williamson. In his senior year of high school, Reddish averaged 22.6 points per game and also 5.6 rebounds. After his senior year of high school, he was named the 2018 Mr. Pennsylvania Basketball. He was also selected to play in the 2018 McDonald's All-Star Game, as well as the Jordan Brand Classic and Nike Hoop Summit All-Star Game as well. In the 2017 FIBA Men's Basketball World Cup, he helped the United States Under-19 team win a bronze medal in Cairo, Egypt. He ended up leading the United States team with 12 steals in the 7 games that they played. He was also considered a top 3 recruit out of high school by ESPN. Although he has played with other up-and-coming talent and young stars on his team, he was still able to average 13.5 points per game. At the start of this season, he was projected to be a top 5 pick in the NBA draft, but after an average performance this year, he has dropped down to a top 10 pick by ESPN. Although he has underperformed this year, year, I still think he has what it takes to play well in the NBA. He probably won't start his first season in the league, but I think once he develops a little more, he can definitely become an all-star caliber player. Number 5 is Texas Tech's player, Jarrett Culver. In high school, Culver was the back-to-back Lone Star Varsity Player of the Year, which is a reward for varsity basketball athletes in Texas. When in high school, he had many Division I basketball offers from Baylor, Texas, Illinois, but decided to go with Texas Tech because his older brother was a track and field star for Texas Tech. In his freshman year at the Tech, he broke the Big 12 freshman record with 229 points in conference play. Throughout his freshman season, he averaged 11.2 points. This past year at Texas Tech, he was the Big 12 Player of the Year and was also named to the first team Big 12 as well. This year in the NCAA tournament, he ended up showing up big time. In the Elite 8 game against the number 1 seed Gonzaga, he scored 19 points and led Texas Tech to its first appearance in a Final Four. I look forward to seeing him play in the NBA because he has been an exciting player to watch all year round. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Darius Garland. Although he was only able to play for 5 games this past season, he is still one of the top college players who is declared for the NBA draft. Against Kent State, he unfortunately injured his knee during a layup. Garland was the best recruit to ever sign with Vanderbilt. As a freshman against Liberty, he scored a season-high 33 points, which was the second most points scored by a freshman in school history ever. His shooting percentage was still very good throughout the 5 games that he played. He averaged 16 points per game, a 53% field goal percentage, 47% three-point percentage, and a 75% free throw percentage, which is quite impressive, I have to say. I definitely expect him to be a huge shooting threat throughout his NBA career. Coming in at the number 3 spot is no other than Ja Morant of Murray State. The craziest thing about Ja Morant is that he was actually found by accident. A scout from Murray State went to a camp that Morant was attending to watch one of the players that they were bringing into the program. While on a break, the scout saw Ja playing a 3-on-3 pickup game and was impressed by his skills. With Murray State then being the best offer he received, he was eager to join the team and begin making a name for himself. As a freshman, he began showing what he was made of with limited playtime and was the second player at Murray State to drop a triple-double with 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 14 assists. Fast forward to this season where he has been absolutely obliterating Division I college basketball record after record. He became the first NCAA Division I player to average at least 20 points and 10 assists per game in a season. Many NBA analysts actually predict Morant to be the next Russell Westbrook of the NBA, and without a doubt, he will make an immediate impact as a point guard to whatever team drafts him in June. I would love to see him playing in the NBA, hitting them tomahawk dunks, and only time will be able to tell what Ja Morant has in store for the future and his career in the NBA. At the number 2 spot, we have the Duke phenom, RJ Barrett. Born in Toronto, Ontario, he was the top high school recruit in the 2018 class. He was the first player since LeBron James to sweep all major high school basketball records and win the national championship with his team. At the end of his junior season, he decided he was up and ready for a college year early, and on November 10th, 2017, he committed to his favorite team, Duke. He said, "It feels like home, and obviously they have a great coach. I love Coach K. I've been watching Duke since I was really young." When he was 18, before playing at Duke in July of 2017, he scored 38 points and 13 rebounds as he led Canada's team to victory over the United States in the FIBA Under-19 Basketball World Cup. At the end of the first season this past year at Duke, he was named to the Sporting News All-American First Team and the All-ACC First Team alongside his teammate Zion Williamson. This year, he averaged 22.6 points per game and 7.6 rebounds per game. With such a great college career, I'm sure he will continue to make heads turn in the NBA when he's drafted. At the number 1 spot is a natural-born superstar in the making. His name is Zion Williamson, and is projected by many sports analysts across the world to be the number 1 overall pick this June.
What words are we using to describe Zion Williamson now?
Well, he's phenomenal. He's one of the rare talents that we've seen in college basketball that literally has instilled fear in his opponents.
You can tell his commitment to basketball began early because at the age of 9, he started waking up every day at 5 a.m. to train. As a sophomore in high school, he attended the National Basketball Players Association Top 100 camp, where he was the leading scorer. Shortly after that, he also won the Under Armour Elite 24 Showcase Dunk Contest in New York City. In his junior and senior years, Zion averaged over 36 points per game. On January 20th, 2018, a big day for him. Zion committed to Duke University. After this, Duke became the first college team to land the top 3 recruits in a class since the modern recruiting ranking systems began. As a college player, he won many awards, including the ACC Rookie of the Year and the ACC Player of the Year. In the NCAA tournament, he averaged at least 23 points and sadly lost in the Elite 8 against Michigan State. During that game, which would be his final collegiate game, he scored 24 points and had 14 rebounds. The 6'7", 280-pound machine is set to make a huge impact in the power forward position when he eventually joins the NBA, and will for sure be a starter for whichever team drafts him number 1 overall. Now that you know the top 10 best NCAA college basketball players of 2019, make sure to let us know down below in the comments which star you look forward to watching and someone who can make the biggest impact in the NBA. And in doing so, you'll earn yourself the chance to be able to be featured in the comment of the day for our next video. And don't forget to come back every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday for your daily dose of non-stop hoops.